I think that's an area where in my field, actually, we need to expand. And I mean, the men from the 10th century who were recording these women's writings are in a much more open-minded in looking at their contributions.
I think that's interesting in the 7th century because it's the same thing in England. In the monastic orders, when I talk about medieval, I meant really early medieval, like 800s, 900s. So 9th and 10th century. The abbesses were women of high social standing who had considerable power, founded institutions. And certainly the expression, because it's more of an oral society than a print society, I think it's a shift of print culture is a sort of double-edged blessing. But also the view from under the veil, and certainly in the book I'm interested in that as well, because I mean we live in a part of North America which has this high concentration of Islamic population, and certainly many of my students as well. And you know, it's just the concept of female experience. So much of the way both the Seraglio, if you like, or the harem, which is a place, not a group of people, and the convent have been represented, actually reflect the assumptions of the 18th century British culture, you know, the Orientalism in all senses of the word. So that, you know, the simple fact that the harem was a place of education and not necessarily for the sexual pleasure of the lord and master, but a separate body, that's something that was, in English, it refers to a group of women who have all of these erotic associations. So it's getting inside female experience. I think it's absolutely critical. And the early, I think you're right. Certainly in historians of gender history of medieval, it's kind of a commonplace almost now that women had greater economic power and social power in that period in Europe. They had their own guilds. The whole economic model was smaller, so it'd be a husband and a husband, or whoever. And it's only with mercantilism that you get the following day, the wife stays home, and her job is more to shop, like she sort of buys the result of her husband's work.
That's interesting because at that very meeting where this came up, and I didn't really mean to speak up because I'm sort of new to the group, but I had the question come up, and another woman spoke up in medieval European studies, and she said, yeah, I'm really surprised at this. She said, in European studies, we've been doing a lot more with women's studies and women's expression. And like, why are we catching up? So, yeah,
That's a wonderful area.
I think we have
Yes. So are you giving a symposium, or is there going to be a...
Actually, I will be part of the faculty fellows in April, where I'm talking about the women poets in the book I'm working on. So this...
yeah, well, you'll get announcements of that. Of course, the faculty in April. It's like the first week in April. Well, we'll make sure that you get that. We'd like to thank you again. We'd like to. That's wonderful. I'm just...